Okay, hi everybody. We're here at Cosmic Gaia, a little group Zoom meeting to do some mini readings and look at the astrology for the week ahead, right before the new moon in Libra, right at the peak of the equinox as of yesterday and today. Really feeling into that energy. So yeah, the new moon in Libra is tomorrow. It's going to be around 2:54 p.m. Pacific time. So you can adjust that. That's rounded up to 3. So that's about 5 p.m. Eastern time. So it's a good moment to just kind of stop everything and get centered and grounded and feel into just that inner union, polarity, integration within the self of the masculine and feminine within. So that energy circulation helps us to upgrade our dormant DNA so we can move into higher earth energies and drop this fucking insanity. I mean, I just can't even believe the headline. It's just like, what? It's just such a whacked world. I hope everybody's like doing good. I can't wait to hear where everybody's at. So yeah, today Venus is actually opposite Neptune. And let's see, Neptune and Pisces opposite Venus is like Virgo hanging, I think I'm pretty much on the cusp. And Mercury is actually about to go into Virgo. So we're moving out of Virgo season into Libra, but a lot is remaining as far as Mercury and Venus. And of course, it's all about healing and self-healing and connecting to nature and pets and animals and our physical health and looking at what we need to do to improve our world and lifestyle and physical well-being. Virgo is the great purifier and the great healer, but usually it means that we run into challenges connected to our health so that it gets our attention. It's like, okay, got to heal it, got to do something with it. So the Mercury, Venus, Virgo energy is going to continue on as we move into Libra and we start to bring things into balance. And the new moon is really going to help us to set the energy. And the fact that it's trine Pluto, making a harmonious aspect to Pluto, it's going to deepen us so much in our soul essence of the deep relationships, the deep relationship with ourself, and we're in relationship with creation and earth, and Pluto being the ruler of Scorpio. After Libra, we move into Scorpio, but Scorpio also will take us into 𝗑𝗏𝗏 season, then Sagittarius. So the meetings during 𝗑𝗏𝗏 season are going to be amazing because that's when the ether energy comes in, and the healing mother is going to like just take it to a whole another level than it already is just being in Virgo season. Because since 2010, when the ether energy started to come in, that's basically the ascension window period when we're really able to move into higher earth energies, shift off of this timeline that they want to bring us into. That is not a road we want to walk down because it looks like insane. It's like fucking no way. I don't think so. All right, so what else? Yeah, it's been kind of a bumpy week. On Thursday, moon was in Leo. It was square Uranus and opposite Saturn. And then the sun entered Libra. Sun conjuncted the retrograde Mercury. So I don't know what you guys were feeling midweek, but when the moon squares Uranus, square means conflict, friction, and Uranus is very much sovereign and all about independence. Very difficult to share your space with somebody else if they're not on the same page as you. So you might have been like distancing, needing boundaries, just like get the fuck out of my space kind of feeling. Opposite Saturn, which makes a square to Uranus. Yeah, just where any control freaks show up in your life or old voices of authority or anything outside of you when it comes to job and career that's just like, you know, being tyrannical or like ridiculous, as we've seen with the mandates and some of the bullshit. Uranus is just like the good rebel that's just, you know, like, let's see. So moon Leo, Venus was making a harmonious connection to Uranus beginning of week, moon, So yeah, I'm just kind of looking at it, but we can look at individual charts and what your experience has been this week. Yeah, so as we move into the new moon in Libra, the sun entering Libra, and a lot still remaining in Virgo, it's a really amazing time to purify energies connected with relationship. So, you know, we all come into relationships with a lot of baggage, a lot of triggers, and a lot of traumas. So hopefully people who are in relationship are feeling like it's healing, or you're dumping relationships that you know can't like go any further because it's not good for you. Or if you're single, that you're in preparation mode for a really good partnership to come into your life, and you're like preparing the grounds for a really good partnership to eventually come. But again, the most important relationship was between us and ourselves. Oh my God. And all these people are here and I didn't have them come on, but at least this is being recorded. So anybody have your hands up? Yes. Who wants like a little mini reading? So Dana's first, and then Dan, and then Antoinette, and then Linda and Terry and Maria and Amy. So that might be all we can do today. And if somebody wants a reading that is not able to in this call, you can.
I would like to have one.
Yeah, an email or text though. If you don't make it on this call, I can still maybe talk to you one-on-one this weekend. So it's fun to do it though, like all together, because people get a lot from hearing other people's processes. And it's just a chance, you know, in case we've been playing phone tag, to make sure that like you get a chance to have a reading done. So take it away, Dana. Are you there?
I sure am.
What's been going on?
Well, so much that it's hard to determine where to start. I think you know my history with the psychopathic and legal system and my ex, I now call him Dead Ex, died just before finishing resolving the legal things that we were ordered to.
He just recently passed?
In end of May.
End of May.
End
Did we
of
talk
May.
since then?
No, that's part of why I've been like, Laura.
That's a lot to process and move through. Gosh.
It's been a, pardon me, fuck ton.
Fuck ton.
Yep.
That would describe
And
it.
interestingly enough, some Masons came in just in advance of that. He was a Freemason, and they're believing some of what has occurred to me, I think. They seem to have been helping, but the legal system dumped me on my ass. I was left with nothing, and the property that had been supposed to be paid out to me was sold off to somebody else, trying to get an attorney to follow up on that. They always seem to go into a spiral of stalling. Found further connections between the judge and my dead ex. It's just deep, corrupt fucking hole. So the Mason that has been helping somewhat is also wanting to marry me now. And yeah, my head and heart are spinning. And so
Wait, I'm sorry, the Mason that what wants to marry you now?
the Mason who had stepped in to help me just before Dead Ex died with the legal, because I was tapped out.
Is wanting to marry you now.
Yeah.
And do you have any relationship, or do you have any history with this person? Is it just like
I do now. I was forced to move, not forced, not he did not, but before Dead Ex died, with everything that was going on with the court and the judge not forcing me to be paid, and once again putting a stop on my business and various things like that under threat of warrants and all this good stuff.
What are you gonna do in the face of that? Like not get married, right? And say no, or like what do you do?
Well, he is a good man.
Okay.
But right, it is very challenging for me to feel comfortable with that. And he's doing a lot to incorporate me in his life and move forward with mutual, you know, eco-villages and energy enhancement systems and all the things that I stand for, as well as my technology business. So he seems to be trying to move me forward. Just as a FYI, I know I'm dropping bombs all over the place here, but literally almost a year before my ex died, Azrael, the archangel, came to me and gave me a prayer. And I can't say it because I can't use it unless, you know, you're asked to. And he basically told me to call him into the situation. And a year later, my ex is dead, you know, totally outside of my control.
But was it
really
suspicious circumstances, or was it just?
It seemed to be related to the jab.
Okay.
He had developed a blood cancer in his heart, and that's what he died of.
So what would you like me to look at? What kind of questions do you have?
Well, let's you know, relationships, right?
Right. Great.
He seems to be seeking to do everything in his power, but I do feel somewhat like obligation and things like that. And I want to avoid that, but right now I need his help in rebuilding my life. You know, so many things have been like literally millions of dollars been taken away from me.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, so I need to be able to determine if, you know, I know I can't do marriage again, but maybe other ways, but I needed to be able to reach a trust in him further than I can. Then he's shown up very good and he's shown up well. But I do feel like I'm being sucked back into other people's reality again. And I know I have things that I have to finish creating that are critical. He feels like God has put him in my path to help me accomplish those things, some of which you may remember. And every time I was moving forward with accomplishing those things, the court and the hijackals would come in and knock me off my feet again. So he's dead. Everything's rolling off to probate with attorneys in New Mexico that aren't moving it forward and stalling me. So, you know, wasted money, or do I proceed with the probate? So that's one question. Probate regarding debt X.
Only do one question, but
Okay.
do a longer reading, maybe one-on-one.
Okay.
Can
so
you
let's
kind of
look at the relationship issue.
okay,
then.
are you able to be more in command of the timing of it all, so you don't have to rush into anything? I mean, are people
Oh, I am.
I've
I've said no. I'm not accepting your proposal right now.
Right.
You're
Okay,
3 years older
you
than
know,
I am.
like as long as there's not like this control and pressure, and you can just
right.
ease.
No, he's absolutely agreed that he's gonna give me space and time and all of that good stuff.
Okay.
So it seems to be good. But the interesting part is he's exactly 3 days and 20 years older than I am. So, and he's had an amazing or incredible sad story himself after having a blessed life. And his family goes back into some of the original founders of the country, and his Freemasonry roots go way back, you know, and stuff like that. And what I got from connecting to my higher self and God is that maybe this is a source of reparations for me and reconciliation, but I'm trying to trust that.
Right. Well, I think this is good for the cards instead of the chart. What do you think?
I do want to look at his chart, a comparison chart. Don't have time for that right now.
Yeah,
agree,
for this kind of call.
No, I know. Let's do the cards.
We can do a longer one later.
Okay.
But hold on.
And it's the eternal question of which way do I go, George?
Yeah, we might want to do a longer one. I don't know if this is you in the system, but I think just cards are good. Are you 10th of January? 10th of January?
January 10th, yes.
Okay.
January 10th, 1966. He's okay. January 7th of 1946.
Oh, wow. Ava, Montana. Okay. Yeah, so doing that would take too long. We can do a
I understand, absolutely.
One-on-one, yeah. But let's just see what the cards have to say.
Thank you.
Okay, so just go ahead and say your full name, including middle name, just to bring your
Dana
into the reading.
Dana June Taylor.
Dana June Taylor.
Correct.
Give me a second. And do you mind saying his name?
James Richard McLean. James Richard McLean.
Okay. So this will give you sort of an idea of the next month or two, the general just kind of energy in the here and now, and kind of what's kind of moving forward, especially like with new moon energy, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Premier time.
Okay, so the Magician, a lot about communication, the Death card. So a lot of letting go of just previous relationships. I mean, you have the death of your ex-partner, and it's just kind of like this whole idea of, you know, rebirthing, like you mentioned, and how that relates to the larger picture. There's a lot of seeds that you both are planting together in your exchanges. You know, that's why it's important to take it slow. you're holding a very, very strong energy, very solid and strong within yourself. There's a lot just about communication, planting seeds and ideas and visions for the larger picture. Something is a little bit off connected to what needs to come into justice. You know, you mentioned things about money and just having things resolve itself that aren't quite there yet. But in surrendering with peace of mind in your heart and kind of trust in God and just how everything is going to flow, and you give it, you know, time, things will get into balance, and the good communication and the seeds that you're planting will end up sprouting. And by spring, more than likely, you'll see some major breakthroughs and or things come to fruition based on a lot of the ideas and concepts and dreams and visions that you're planting right now. But no reason to move too quick, too far, too quick. But yeah, you know, if the potential of marriage is there, you know, just hold that in your heart as being a potential and make sure everything is in alignment so that it's worthy of you wanting to make that agreement. Right now, it just seems very much in the flow of like healing, letting go of the past and moving forward into the future, planting seeds and ideas, and being in surrender mode with a sense of contentment and hope and inspiration, right? So it really looks good. The cards look good.
Okay, so he looks trustworthy and working to my benefit.
It would be better to look at your charts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to say yes or no. I wouldn't want to steer you on the wrong direction. It's just important to always be incredibly discerning, no matter what.
I concur.
And as long as you stay really present and really grounded and really discerning, anytime a red flag comes up, make sure to just engage in a dialogue that helps you to get to know him better, that helps to reassure you of any concerns you might have, because anybody who's going to properly love you can handle it. And if they can't, then something's not right there.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you, Laura.
Good to see you. All right. Thanks.
You too.
All right. Take care. Dan. Hey, Dan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I've been trying to keep up with all your shows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
As you know, we are doing phone tag with those two.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've seen some of your texts and things seem like it's like everything's doing good in your world.
Yes, I do feel like things are getting better. Like since last summer, as you know, with Cyprus and things like that, I came home and I gained 30 pounds. I didn't realize it, but I lost the 30 pounds since.
Oh, good job.
So that's good. Now I have to go further and not to let other people affect my emotions and everything else like I let people do. But I feel like lately I've been so grounded, very grounded. I feel like I'm in present mode, letting go everything. I don't know if you heard, I think you did, Abraham Hicks. I'm trying to do all of these sessions, but I think they're working. And I feel like everything's been going well in school. And yesterday we had a spiritual day, which I thought was interesting. I listened to a priest, but he sounded so spiritual, the way he was teaching on spiritual day with all the teachers, that I felt very, I liked what he was having to say about staying in the present and let go of the past. And I'm thinking, this sounds like more spiritual teaching than everything else. And I've been teaching spiritualism sort of in the class, and I feel like I could do it. And the kids get it, you know, to love yourself. How could you not? You have to love yourself if you could love other people.
Oh my gosh. What grade again are you teaching right now?
4th grade. And I have such a great class so far. And then I had some parents come on Thursday night. I thought it was one mother I heard was going to be out to get me, but it just turned out to be great. One mother thought I was like a stand-up comedian, that they all had a good time. And we were like the last people to leave, but I didn't expect that the principal's like, it's time to go. It's time to everybody get out. But it's been going really well. And I want to see what's happening because I'm trying to feel grounded and look forward to a new future.
Right.
I'm just out of debt since that nonsense with that friend of mine that I gave so much to. But
are you talking about Oleg?
Yes. So, and I told you about a couple of weeks ago, he said nasty things to me saying I'm old.
Who needs that?
He was trying to get me to feel bad. And I said, I feel confident enough now that I don't get upset because I
Oh,
know
good.
he's unhappy.
That's huge.
Yes, and I
What a
think
breakthrough.
it's all over the place. So he's unhappy. He doesn't have any money or anything else, but I'm not gonna help him. I
Or
did.
let him drag you down. God.
Yes, that's right. And I learned that now that you can only help people a little bit, but you can't go and save them and try to do everything.
Exactly.
all
You know, it's like having a lifeboat and you're trying to pull somebody in, but if they pull you too much, then the boat might capsize.
Right.
And all of a sudden, like, wait a second.
Yes, yes. So that's why I'm learning a lot more lately, and I feel great. I'm
Sweet.
feeling so good, Laura. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Yeah, because I'm trying to practice the meditations and because I want to ascend and I don't want to be stuck with all the nonsense. They're all little triggers. They're little things that I told you, like I'm trying to help my mother and then it doesn't, like every time she listens and then she pulls back. And because I said it goes back to the traditional, way she was taught. So she's like, oh, this is too freaky. It's like, and then she goes back and then she listens because I always want them to know too, because I'm like the cookie one, thinking of all this stuff about, reincarnation, and I'm not afraid anymore. I just feel no fear. And I
Good.
feel like so much is going to go on in the next couple of weeks. I hope so anyway.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. Whoa, and this is the 24th. People have been talking about this day.
I know. Let's see
Like,
what
well,
happens in the next
Well, the thing
week.
is, we are just anchored in our co-creation with just the earth and these timelines, and regardless of what happens around us, I mean, we have ourselves to tend to, and as long as you're doing good, that's the trajectory you're on, and that's a good one. That to me is the organic ascension timeline. We're working our own
Yeah.
energy instead of being hooked into all this stuff constantly being thrown to people.
Right.
Okay, so
I'm not watching anything anyway.
yeah, I'm not either. It's like
And I
when I
feel
listen
better.
to it as an observer, I'm just like, whoa,
Yeah.
madness. Okay, so I've got you up here. You're 30th July 1970, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, we'll do the cards, and as far as your chart's concerned, yeah, well, I can kind of like reflect on it. So go ahead and say your full name, including middle name, and just a few
Sure.
key points about like what specific question you have.
Yes, it's Daniel Christopher Sullivan. And remember, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, July 30th, 1970, around 1:30 p.m.
Right. And just frame a question. What's the question?
What's in my future of my love life and fortune? Because I feel like everything is going to change now. Because I feel like I learned a lot of lessons.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like I'm upgrading, I hope.
Oh, yeah, you are. Well, the chart shows that, of course. And just hearing what you're saying. So that's proof right there. Okay. So, whoa, 3 major arcanas, right? Right immediately. The Chariot, body, mind, spirit integration is really just the energy of victory, just moving forward on the Chariot, just
I like that.
moving through whatever you got to move through, but just claiming victory, because it's no challenge is too much. It's just very much about, just personal victory. And then the sun card is just creativity and just being in your essence, your creative essence, the solar power of, your own, light force, creative force. And the joy that brings, the sun is always, bright and smiley. And then you got the Hangman, which is really in surrender mode. It's like you've gotten yourself to a really strong place within yourself, and it's easy to surrender when you're there, because then it's like, okay, here I am, I'm grounded, I'm in a good headspace, and it's like surrender and trust. And so you're totally in that Hangman, letting go.
But I'm letting go now.
Yeah. So what's coming in is kind of building new foundations and structures. What is sort of gonna, be a structure that you can build. And you got the devil archetype, and that's not anything to be freaked out about, because it's not the way that the outer world perceives that archetype. It just says there's a little bit of a power, not a power struggle so much, but you're diving into something that has a magnetic pull on you. It might be a partner or somebody. It might be the concept surrounding partnership or love, that just has like a huge grip on you. When the devil card is in the context of love, it doesn't have a negative connotation. The devil card is number 15. 1 + 5 is 6, which is the lover's number as an archetype. So when the lovers and the devil work together, it's sort of like Kundalini. It's sort of like the magnetism. It's sort of like the bonds that keep you together. Like when you feel bonded, but not like bound as in like enslaved or like held captive by a controller. That's a little different.
And I'm going to
Unless somebody wants that and that's your thing, of course. But yeah, so it's just saying that there's a pull towards something or someone that is a force that, you know, is something to kind of temper, because it's, you know, just magnetism and attraction can be overpowering. I don't think it has anything to do with Oleg, but if he kind of like starts to put some intense energy on you, be very, very careful. If it's about somebody else, you'll know it and you'll feel it. And, you know, I know we're playing a lot of phone tag, but if you do run into like a weird energy and you're just like, oh shit, you know, definitely like for a quick, like 10-minute, 15-minute check-in, you know, it'll be easy to get you in right away. A longer one might be a little bit more difficult because I got to kind of stick to the calendar, but the cards look amazing. I mean, the fact that you got the 3 major arcanas, the Chariot, the Sun, and the Hangman, the Devil card in this context, after sort of just like surrendering, kind of falling in love with the whole process.
Yes.
Devil archetype is not the negative polarity. It's more about the pan connection to like earth and Kundalini and just magnetism, attraction, and feeling bonded to somebody because of the force of what pulls people together. And so that is a very positive thing. But if it gets kind of weird, or if Oleg starts getting weird, or you feel like, you could use the check-in, you know, send me a text and we could just get on a quick call.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be too difficult. My next week is way more clear.
And like my mother will tell me, and my family and friends, don't ignore red flags and don't try extra harder to fix it. Because
don't ignore red flags at all. Yeah.
Somebody that
and if you have to
help, I could help them. I felt I said I could please them, and then I go all out to try to help them, and then I didn't realize it until now. That doesn't work. Like Jesus said, they have to help themselves. You could support them, but they have to eventually believe in themselves to do it.
Exactly. You don't want to do it for them. That's
to
step up to the plate. So Ariana, you want to, I don't see her. Okay. Her hand's not up. You put something in the comments. So yeah, if you don't know how to put the hands up, just send me another message. But yeah, no, Daniel, it looks really good. And you know what your boundaries are. You know what to do in the face of red flags. You know to not overextend yourself, because you did that a lot with Oleg and you didn't get a whole lot back in return.
Nothing. In the beginning, it was like to win me over. And then after I gave so much, and then I felt like I'm the one that's trying to make somebody happy. Well, that's my problem. I was trying to get validation.
Right. You know, yeah, like in the hopes that you'll be able to give, and then, you know, maybe receive. The person doesn't know how to really function in relationship in a healthy way.
And I didn't know why I didn't get
somebody needs to mute your camera or your
and I'm not even listening to that because I'm over here, but I can't see.
Somebody's got your microphone on. Make sure everybody's muted while
somebody. Xperia, mute yourself.
It's funny.
That thing is okay from afar, but it's not really girly.
Whoever's talking, you might want to mute
your. You and you're what you're up to.
Who's talking? We can hear you.
You can go into participants.
You can tell her and mute.
I think it's Christy. I can't tell who.
No, it's Xperia L2. Mute her.
Xperia L2.
No, it's not me.
Oh,
we're hearing you, Xperia. You are showing unmuted.
I'm by myself. My dog is snoring, but I'm not speaking.
Oh, I love those.
Well,
we can hear you.
But Daniel, Dan, everything looks really good, and you really solid.
Yes.
And yeah, it's like, you know that you deserve to have the love and generosity that you give to be reciprocated, and Oleg's not in balance enough to be able to do that.
I don't feel that way too. And I feel that way as well. I feel it.
He could change, but you don't,
Yeah.
yeah, you know not to wait around.
Changing now, and I don't want to be brought down. And I said, why didn't I learn this as a child? Because it's like I had make friends that it was like always a boy that it works out well, but then they pull back. But what do? Try harder. That's not, people say, oh, push, step back too. Because I try harder and then they start telling you what to do, and then they start being mean and bossy, and I'm very friendly. So,
Right.
And I remember now all these things in the past, which I feel like I learned from, and not to go after the people that my sister would say, you always target all these people that all need help. And I said, because I thought I could help them.
I know.
And then they bring me down, and then I could help people, but they have to help themselves.
Yeah.
Now I could try to target healthy people, and it's okay if it goes
Yeah,
slowly.
That's a huge breakthrough to change that patterning.
Yes,
So
like
right
David
on.
was
Congrats
saying,
to
let
you.
it go slowly,
That's
and
really
not
amazing.
rush into it and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm love now." It's like,
Well, good. That's a huge breakthrough. Well, good to see you. And
me too.
we'll talk again soon. Much love to you. Awesome. Okay. So Antoinette, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I said unmute. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh my God. If my life can get any crazier, it's going to. Can you pull, I don't know what the hell's going on.
What's going on?
Second week August, I got rushed in for emergency surgery, put everything I was doing at a stop. This past Thursday, I was supposed to go with my another mom to a school board meeting. A dog shows up. So we missed the school. It seems like things are just coming in. And especially now, it's like it's getting busier with all the political stuff. Is the universe telling me to stop, or is this the other one just throwing little wrenches at me to see if I'm really committed?
All right. Let's look at that. So go ahead and just say your full name, including middle name, and then if you can just frame that into a question.
Antoinette Melanie Gravel. Why are things going crazy in my life right now?
And what are just some of those key points, like in bullet point? Like,
is it the universe telling me to stop, that this is not how they want me to go? Or am I on the right track and it's the dark entities throwing stuff at me to sidetrack me?
okay. There's a lot of just, you're working just to gain some level of, balance. The Justice card just is a little bit turned to the side. That's why I like circle cards, because it's not going to be completely upside down or right side up. And it's just, you're almost there. It's just, there's a lot that you're kind of letting go of, and whatever you're holding on to would mean that there's some sort of attachment. If you're attached to something that's not good for you, then there's going to be some kind of entity attachment that is going to exacerbate the situation until you're ready to cut the cords and just be like done with it. And then that entity or being will go as you let go of whatever it is that it's kind of hooking in on, like a past trauma, or like a person that just you have a connection with that just has overstated their welcome, not just in your physical space, but in your consciousness, in your psyche, in your memories. You're rooted though with the Fool, right? So you're in the 0 point, you're in the now. It's all about sort of the divine innocence of like a child, just being in the now and just being just kind of like, it's kind of like that happy-go-lucky, free-spirited energy. And, and everything will just kind of like move through you and release itself from you as you maintain that vibration, and balance comes in. The Lover's energy is showing up, and it's not fully upright. And so there's a big pause button on certain connections. And whatever you're processing about the larger picture, that can include friendships, collaborations, business partners, anything. It looks like good things are about to break through. And the worst case scenario that you might be feeling into, to the point where you don't see the larger picture at times, even though you do see the larger picture enough of the time, but the times where you maybe don't, and it can all feel kind of like overwhelming. It's sort of like, boy, is there something good that's about to emerge? I think because the death card showed up, that's never fun or easy. So it's sometimes hard to see what's on the other side of all of this. I mean, so are you in the right flow? Yeah. I mean, the process that's been initiated, that's currently underway, is an unstoppable thing. And it's completing itself and clearing something and purifying something to the point where certain connections and relationships are going to surprise you. Like they're working a lot of energy on their end, and whatever's sort of sneaking in just has to do with things that shouldn't remain, like sort of like an old patterning or dynamic that you need to let go of, and same with anybody else in your environment. They're letting go of it too, because there's sort of like a fresh start. And with this new moon, it just seems like whatever has been a concern is kind of like falling away, and the clarity of what's to come and what's emerging is going to be like the next round of energies that are going to carry you through for the next bunch of cycles. I mean, you got some mega good cards, like really good cards. Every time I get a reading and have these kind of cards, I'm just like, yeah.
So basically I got to put to death what doesn't serve me anymore.
Yeah. And trust,
so I can open up and open up to what's coming.
Yes.
Let it be a surprise instead of trying to control it.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes in the death or letting go process, we still attach ourselves to something. We're not quite ready. You know, even if it's a negative thing, it can still act as a security blanket. It's just sometimes difficult to just let go. And that is very often where entity attachments come in. So just keep breathing through it, keep letting go, and just keep trusting and moving forward, and just knowing something incredible is emerging. You're going to see the people around you change as well. As you are letting go and emerging, they will as also. And those that can't or aren't, you know, they'll just kind of fall away and not be a big part of your life, because you won't have a resonance or a frequency match with them anymore. Your reading is really good, is all I can say. You're on the right track.
Okay, we'll do a longer one.
Okay,
when you have time.
Yes.
Thank you so
nuts.
much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. October's nuts. I'll do a Zoom meeting. If I can.
October's nuts for me too.
Yeah, I'll be traveling most
of
it.
There's 80 days left till election, so everything's going nuts here.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for being here.
Thank you, sweetie.
Okay, sure. Okay, so next we have Linda Lee. Hi, Linda.
Hey, Laura, how are you? I'm sorry I'm blurry. I know Diane's trying to tell me what to do to make myself unblurry. I don't know.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting. Look at you.
I know. If it doesn't bother you, I don't care that much.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
being
cool.
on camera doesn't matter.
No, okay, good.
So what's happening in your world?
Yeah, so, you know, I'm still here in Minneapolis.
More pet store?
No, I got fired from that job after 7 days. 7 days and 3 weeks, because they said I didn't learn the system fast enough. It was not a great job. Anyway, I got a new job though. I got a job at a law firm. So that's more my wheelhouse. Yeah.
I mean, everybody, she's a lawyer. I mean, you've been a lawyer for how many years?
About 30.
So now you're working for a law firm again?
Yes, but not in a licensed lawyer capacity. I don't have my license here, but we talked a little bit about it. It's just a part-time job, but I'm glad it feels good. So that was one thing I wanted to know about that. It feels good to me. And I've been having a hard time with my daughter, Laura. This is so funny, the whole relationship thing. And just as you were saying that, my phone lights up and she sends me a picture of my mother with her when she was a kid.
Oh,
with
really?
no text or anything, just sends me the picture. And we haven't been speaking.
Wow.
So, I know.
Thinking about you, gosh.
I know. Anyway, so just generally what's up.
How do you feel about the law firm? Is that?
Well, you know, the interview went well. It's two people, an older guy and a younger guy. and personal injury and some type of debt work they do for people that, you know, owe the money, the debtors, which I like that side of it. And, you know, it's a small office. I found out that the one lawyer brings his German Shepherd into work. Would that be okay with me? I'm like, yeah, I love German Shepherds. Cool.
Nice.
So, and there's a woman that works there. So I think she needs help. But, you know, I think it'll just be doing legal stuff, pleadings, and, you know, all the things I know how to do, which probably will feel good. The pay's okay. And it's only 15 hours a week to start, which is, I could use more time than that, but that's okay.
Wow. Well, that might increase, you know, to kind of like,
Yeah. Well, he said that.
stepping your way back into it. That's really good news.
Yeah, thanks. I thought so.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and just say your full name.
Okay. Linda Williamson Lee.
All right, so it's just bringing up everything related to work and wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything's looking really good. Yeah. You're
Cool.
really solid people too that you can count on.
Oh, good.
Everything's about kind of work and just setting a new foundation, and you know, and you're excited to have more hours. So more than likely that will come as time progresses. But I mean, look, you got the moon, a major arcana, has to do with, you know, our sensitivities, our psychic awareness, our emotions, and it's upright. The star is another major arcana. It has to do with our mission. It has to do with protection. It has to do with inspiration and hope, because we feel kind of grounded on, you know, our life purpose, and we're feeling good about it, and we're feeling the support from the universe and everything like that. Then you got the sun, which is another major arcana. And of course, that's all about just the creative essence of just joy and sunshine and like brightness and creativity. And then the hangman, which is surrender and trust. So that's like 4 major arcanas as an outcome, on top of the fact that strength is connected to those that are surrounding you. And the crone is passing away as far as that, like the foundation that you're kind of reflecting upon, because a lot of the different changes that you went through were just building and building a lot of wisdom, your ability to navigate the darkness with a lot of light within yourself to guide you, you know, like that trust, even when nothing's showing up and you're just like, oh my God, where's this all going? That you cultivated that light and that wisdom, which we talked a lot about when everything was just so weird. It's just with the food truck and then the pet store, and it's like, where is this all going? But you maintain the faith, and you cultivated, you know, the greater wisdom, which comes naturally for you. You bring in joy and sort of like a sense of humor about it all, and you're ready to work, and the foundations are being set, and you're taking the space that you need to have enough self-care to feel good and happy. And you got amazing 4 major arcanas as an outcome. I mean, the sun and moon, the star and the sun, freaking awesome. Right before a new moon too. So that lots to be content about. Really good reading.
Thank you. Sounds wonderful.
Yeah. And it should still continue to get better and better. And remember, you know, when it wasn't, it was like, it's going to be a couple months.
Oh, you told me. And you know, that tape's been in my head, Laura, our conversation, that Linda, things are just going to look like they're getting worse. Things are just going to keep blowing and blowing. And so many things happen, Laura. So many things have happened that I'm just like, okay, it's supposed to be this way, but it's all leading up to the right place.
Sweet. That's great news.
Thanks.
Okay, sure.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely. Good to see you. And okay, so Terry Priest.
Hi.
Hi, Terry.
I'm the one who's been emailing you about being a distributor.
Oh, right. For which one?
I didn't know. I couldn't remember which one you had mentioned last time.
Yeah, there's
But
quite
there
a
was a
few.
Zoom call directly after the Zoom that we were on.
I think it was probably LifeWave. The patch.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, well, anybody that most of the products are on my homepage or products page on my website, cosmicgaia.org. So whatever stands out to you, I can connect you with the CEO or the person that signed me up, and you can have a one-on-one call and set it up with them. I don't do that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not used to Zoom calls, so.
Right. Well, good. Cool that you're here. Do you want to do a card reading, or do you have any questions?
Yeah, well, there was a couple things. So you're not doing charts today, correct?
I can. I've been pulling up charts, but if I haven't done a lot of your chart stuff, like I did, quite a bit with the other folks that have already come on, I can, look at your chart. So what kind of questions do you have?
Well, I have several questions, but let's just go with something.
I don't think I have you in the system, so let me just get your birth data.
Okay.
Hold on. What's your birthday?
4/17/63.
So 4 is April 63. Do you know your birth time?
10:50 p.m.
And where
in Santa Ana, California.
What is it?
Santa Ana,
Santa Ana,
California.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your question?
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just go with this one for right now, because I think that would be the simplest. How do I get financially unstuck? I am disabled. I've been disabled since '99, and I live on an extremely small income. And that's why I'm looking into being a distributor. I mean, I have a lot of questions. I have,
being a distributor brings in like good income. I mean, I've had a lot of jobs over the years that, I work really, really hard without making that much. And a lot of these companies, without having to do a whole lot, give me just as good of a paycheck as what I had when I was like landscaping or cleaning hotel rooms. So
okay.
I think moving in that direction,
yeah, that would be great.
because these products really, really work. I mean, every product that I endorse, I use and I stand by it. And the people that can help you set it up have a lot of time and patience and ability to really walk you through what you need to learn. So let's just see the general direction with that on your mind, and I'll link you to the people that can help you with that. But let's kind of just look at that question. So go ahead and say your name, and then if you want to just say that as a question.
Terry Lee Priest. How do I get financially unstuck?
And of course, it's not going to give us the details of which
I know.
company, because it's the card.
Or what? Rather, should I say what's keeping me financially stuck?
Right. Or are you on the are you on the verge of a breakthrough or something to improve that situation, that kind of thing? Yeah, for sure. So it shows that on a kind of root level, there's just been a lot of disappointments, maybe to the point where even if you have hope and inspiration, it's kind of like this feeling of, but the what ifs, or you're kind of used to maybe something not working out or something getting in the way, or just kind of like just processing through disappointment from things in the past and just how difficult it's been. But you're really like holding a high vibration of transformation. You have a strong willpower that's really coming in all the time, where your self-determination and your willpower is going to override any frustrations or any memories of feeling a sense of defeat or frustration from the past. The Magician is strong, which means that your words and who you communicate with are really going to start to line up the synchronicities and things falling into place to get you unstuck so that you are able to bring in decent income. And then the Temperance card, which is sort of like a multi-dimensional balance. Temperance is an interesting card. Hold on a sec. And sometimes for this one in particular, I don't have it right with me, but it's sort of just like a multi-dimensional level of balance, just really feeling like on a spiritual level, on a physical level, emotional, mental, everything is just starting to just kind of feel right. And so it kind of tempers where the elementals within us can get a little bit out of sorts, where our fire element can move into anger instead of the passion and fire that we want to make change happen. Our mental body that wants to be a free thinker and remain clear can sometimes get muddled with overthinking. So the Temperance card is sort of like all the shadow sides of our elemental nature is being tempered by just you being grounded in a higher expression of all these aspects of yourself, your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual body. The cards are great. And just send me a text. Look at my website, cosmicgaia.org, and see which one. I think it was the Life Wave, because that was the meeting I had right afterwards. And I can help hook you up with a call with the person that can just show you the ropes and help you to establish a business. And believe me,
that would be so awesome.
Yeah, and you'll have testimonials. And then once you take the product or do the patches for a couple of weeks, or any of the products that stand out to you, then you'll really be able to, let people know, from your heart, because you've noticed results. And I think it'll help with some of the issues that you're dealing with on a health level. So it's a win-win, because not only will it make you feel better, then you get to have a little business and you get to expose people to it. So I definitely move in that direction. I think that's going to help you get unstuck. As far as the transits, Saturn, you're in sort of very close to Saturn returns. Your ascendant is right on top of Saturn, and just feeling maybe a slowness in manifesting your dreams and feeling sort of limitation, but mostly it's connected to throat chakra. So the more you speak your goals and you are in that determination and you just take action, which Mars requires, that'll get you unstuck. Just have that, really believe in yourself and your willpower and your ability to use words that manifest your reality, because you're trusting that these are good decisions. So your conversations and the things that are coming out of your mouth are supporting manifesting that as a reality, which is the magician archetype, because it makes magic happen. So it looks really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally. Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'll just text you afterwards.
Yeah. And if I got to run in a little bit, if you don't hear from me by tomorrow afternoon, just resend the text. But more than likely you won't have to, but just in case, don't ever feel like, sometimes I need that, that extra sort of like, hey, hello, did you see my text? Because I got to run an errand, but yeah, for sure. Send me a text and I'll hook you up.
Thank you, Laura. I love you.
Love you too. Thank you as well. Okay, so Maria, and then, okay, so I'm going to stop with Ariana and then we'll close. So Maria, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey.
Can you, is it okay to do this without a webcam?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Sometimes I do these meetings without being on camera. Because I'm like in my bathrobe and I'm like, no, I don't think.
Right. I don't want to scare anyone,
Oh gosh, you wouldn't. But yeah, what's your question? What are your thoughts?
Okay. I guess I would just like a little bit of encouragement, maybe message from source to and whether, my purpose. I just had my birthday, September 21st.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, September 21st, 1941. So I was 81.
What?
And and I feel like I've dropped the ball on my life, made a serious wrong choice many years ago. And I want to know that I'm still on track, or I'm
But wrong choice as far as a partner in your life, or something with
no I was it was a job that I had been guided, really pushed to quit. It was working for an attorney, and I was like a independent type person working for them, and the wife of the attorney wanted me to come into work and help her with some what she called bread and butter letters, which she typed, because she didn't realize typing them doesn't put you in the higher echelon. She was how do I say, it's really kind of complicated. Anyway, the point is I was being really strongly urged not to come back. It was a Friday, but I had said I would come in on Monday before that, the following Monday. Well, when the time came, she called me on Sunday. I knew I shouldn't come in. I'd taken all my things home, from the office. I knew I shouldn't come in, but she called me and changed it to an hour earlier. And it was precise time for me to say, well, gosh, something's come up. I can't come in. But at that time, I didn't know the words to use. I couldn't say I was sick because I knew when you say you're sick, you're going to make yourself sick. Anyhow, I know it now at 81, but I didn't know it then. So I ended up not telling her. So when the Monday came along to go, I got up dreading it, and I was literally knocked back on my bed by like a blowtorch to my solar plexus. So I thought, no, what can I say? What can I say? I don't know, but I don't know what to say. So then I got up to start again. I was knocked back on the bed a second time. I mean, it was really powerful. The third time I got up, they didn't stop me. And I feel like I blew it. That was like 1980, what? I don't know, in the 80s. And anyhow, the point is I'm single. I know all the placements in my card. I chart. I feel like I'm just this combination of not knowing which way to go. I'm a double Virgo, sun and moon conjunct on the straddling the cusp. The second house, I'm got Neptune exact conjunct my sun, Venus in Scorpio, square to Pluto in the 12th house, Jupiter in Gemini in the house of hopes and wishes and friends, Saturn and Uranus conjunct in the house of career, and 10th, and Mars and Aries in the 9th house.
Nice.
So I'm feeling a little bit like someone once said when they looked at my palm, you're one heavy spiritual lady, and I feel as if I've failed.
What? But because of this career thing?
No, because somehow things would have been so different had I not done that, because I ended up not even getting paid for that. But that doesn't even matter.
Today, are you still, I mean?
Well, I'm single, and I'm, at this age, I need to, maybe my question be this. I started a kind of a detox with the master cleanser. I don't know if you know what that is, but instead of just using lemon juice, I use the whole lemon.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So it's pretty powerful. And then also I use urotherapy, which I don't know if you know about that. I don't use it heavily, but that's a really good thing.
Okay.
Anyway, I'd kind of like to know if I'm on the money on pursuing that and
on pursuing what? That
detox.
Okay. Well, let's just get a general read on you right in the here and now and moving forward.
And
right?
if there's any message like from source or my guides or high self, whatever.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so just go ahead and say your full name.
Maria Cecilia Gill.
Okay.
I was born in Akron, Ohio, by the way, at 2:17 a.m.
All right. Yeah, maybe one-on-one we'll, we can look at your chart. I don't recall us really doing much with your chart before, but you already are very familiar with your chart. So the cards are a good one for this. But saying that there's just a bit of overwhelm maybe in just what you're feeling when you're processing things, emotionally, but at the root, you have Wheel of Fortune, and the foundation that this card it has a lot to do with your root chakra, what you're grounding into, that Wheel of Fortune, right? So that usually sets a person up for a lot of powerful synchronicities, and the Fool's kind of passing away, but it doesn't mean it's gone. It's just sort of like an energy that you're moving forward from. And that's just, very much in the now, very much just in the moment, divine innocence, just openness. But there's kind of a heavy cloud with the Nine of Cups, or the Nine of Swords coming in, of a mental energy. And you can even see the card, just sort of where negative thought forms come in. And that's an important part of our process, but it's kind of stressing you out, because your vibration, or just the way you're viewing reality, is sort of like an inner conflict, inner struggle. Five of Swords, you can see it's a sting, and it's sort of like a feeling of ouch, just like, and the way that you express yourself, feeling like, oh, you made a mistake. But you have the Justice card and the Star card as a final outcome. And I think you're going to feel a lot more rewarded. I think you're going to have a lot of intuitive hits and epiphanies that are very different than what you're feeling right now. It seems very temporary, that these thoughts that feel somewhat undermining are going to be there, because regardless of what might have been different if you hadn't made that decision, we're really here on this planet for spiritual and soul development, much more than any monetary success. And I know you know that, or the sort of success where, oh, you know, I made all the right choices and here's the rewards that I got. There's a greater reward within your own being, you know, your capacity to self-reflect and be true to yourself and just kind of evaluate it and look at it all is something to feel very confident within yourself to move forward with, that it's going to provide more of a reflection from the outside world that kind of reassures you that there is a lot of reward on a soul level and your spiritual energies, where, you know, sometimes we give situations the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes we see the good in people before they're able to step up to the good in themselves, and we waste our time, you know, in certain relationships or certain jobs, certain careers, but that doesn't need to reflect upon you because your heart's been in the right place. So what you're walking away with and what you're carrying forward is very much in alignment with what's important for you on a soul level. Even if it didn't give you the results you would have liked to see in the physical plane, that doesn't matter, because, you know, that can burn up at any time and it doesn't really die with us. There's something that remains that you should feel very proud of. And those thoughts might not be there just yet, but very soon you'll have more breakthroughs that feel like very comforting and reassuring. Right now, though, it looks like you're moving through sort of a life review or sort of dark night of the soul thought forms, but it's very, very temporary. And it's just wanting to be purged and cleared, because there's actually a lot of positive synchronicities that will appease your soul and make you feel a lot better about where you're at right now and where you're heading, if that made sense.
Yes. How do I set it up so that I can have an actual better?
Well, my calendar's
reading?
probably full. My October is pretty full. So end of October and first week in November, we can set it up over text or email and get something in the calendar.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thanks for
Appreciate
being
it.
here. Okay,
Mhm.
sure. Okay, so we have Experia, Annalyn, and then Ariana, and then we'll close.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Laura. I'm like a kind of a student of yours. I'm in Exopolitics, and I've gone through all the courses and everything, and I've been listening to you and everything. And God, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're a blessing. You really are, and it's amazing to see how you share and you help everybody. And amazing the view you have. I really didn't know this was going to be some kind of personal thing today, and yeah, I don't want to bore you all with my problems. I thought it was more like, you know, we're all already manifesting this new world. We're walking and we're, you know, manifesting and visionizing together what the future comes. And but anyway, I would love to have a meeting with you and
Yeah,
private if possible. Yeah.
absolutely. Do you want to wait? And do you want to send me a message and we can have a one-on-one? I can do 15 minutes to a half hour. I probably can't do an hour, but I can squeeze you in this weekend if you'd prefer to do that one-on-one instead of.
Okay, brilliant. But where do I message you?
Yeah, let me send you my phone number and look at the chat. I'm sending it directly to you. Everybody should have it. That's here. You can send me a text, and I'll also share my email.
Okay,
And,
great. Okay, got it. Okay,
yeah.
so I'll okay, you tell me when shall I give you a call?
Well, just send me a text. You can send it today or tomorrow.
Okay,
and
I can do a WhatsApp, yeah. And I'm very sorry if I put the mute thing on. I really, but I only have my dog here snoring. And then the name too. My name is Tatiana. Hello to everybody. I'm sorry. Spirit is my phone. I didn't know it was. You had to put your name.
Oh
in.
yeah, no worries. Okay, Tatiana. Cool. Get to know your name,
Okay.
and I'll look out for your text, and I'll save you in the
Okay, cool.
contacts. And
Okay, cool.
and
Thank
we'll
you.
definitely
Have
have a
Namaste.
one-on-one and look at.
Namaste. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good to see you. Thanks.
Brilliant. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, sure. Okay, Annalyn and then Ariana.
Hey, hello, Laura. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for being here. On my name, I know you did one brief reading for me, and I don't know if you have me down with my legal name, Lynn Suzanne Lemke.
Oh, you mean in
Yeah, I don't know what name. Yeah, just like a mini reading, please.
Okay, but it might be better for you just to give me your birth data all over again. And what's your full name?
Well, I 𝗠𝘂𝗍𝗶, Lemke.
I'll just do Lynn Suzanne and capital L. Okay.
Okay, but
What's your
I
birthday?
I've been used at 2/13/1956.
February 13th, 1956.
Yes,
And what time were you born?
or 1:30 a.m. in Seattle, Washington.
Okay, what's your question?
I don't know. I've just had a hard time with just a little bit of it. Well, two particulars with my health and whether my health is even whether it's improved. I've been working on it for a number of years, but it's been discouraging.
What kind of symptoms?
Well, I think I think it's just more autoimmune illness and osteoporosis.
Do you
or metabolic syndrome.
what are you
we call
doing to
that.
treat it? Like what kind of protocols or what do you do kind of as
Well,
a
right. And then I have heavy metal. I have a huge load of heavy metals and parasites right now. So
well, I can if we have a one-on-one call, I mean if you have like a naturopath or a doctor, I'm not a doctor. I have a lot of knowledge as far as a naturopath would have, but I'm not one that has a certification, but I've been in the field of nutrition and medical astrology for a long time. I could turn you on to some really, really profound products that would help with parasites, that would help with heavy metals, and that would help to replenish your system. The cell food silica is really good for osteoporosis, to build the bone mass again and to help with the bones. And what I could do is at least send recommendations over email of some products that I think are like highest level. And I can just tell you what I see in your chart, and we can just do a quick reading on what's going on for now, at least on this call.
Oh, okay. And then we could have we could meet again. We could meet you. Okay.
Yeah, so end of maybe the end of this month. It's best that you just text me or email me and we can figure it out. I can't do more than a half hour until November because my calendar's booked. But anything smaller than that shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, just send me a message. And if you write an email with your symptoms, I can photograph like the product with the ingredients, and you can do the research to treat a lot of what you're sharing. And yeah, there's a really good parasite cleanse that I know that really removes it like right away. Like, so it's because sometimes there's a bad 𝗏𝗏𝗏 reaction with some sort of detoxes. And I know kind of a way to mitigate that so it's not like gruesome and really painful so you don't have too much die off. Like, and I can kind of work with you on that. But again, because I'm not licensed.
No,
kind of like at your own risk.
Yeah, I understand.
If you have a naturopathy.
Right, right.
But yeah, the medical astrology part like can really make it more exclusive, right? So
I agree.
Yeah, we can see what your chart says. Your north node looks good. You've got a really strong north node, which is what you're here to step into and integrate. It has to do with your greater destiny. Your north node is in the sign of Sagittarius. It's conjunct Mars. It forms a harmonious aspect with your natal Pluto, Jupiter, where your moon is progressed in Leo right on top of it. You have the power of regeneration. You have a very, very creative nature. Your mental body, when it focuses on something and it holds a strong intent, you'd be amazed at what you're able to regenerate and heal. So you got to be very, very careful with your thought forms. And it shows you have a lot of wisdom. You're very practical, but you have a lot of, wisdom. And it's very important that you live somewhere that you love, like you're surrounded by nature and it feels like a sanctuary, that you literally turn your home into, like when you open the door, you feel like you're being taken care of and nurtured. And if you're not doing that already, that's a really, really important thing to do to start the healing process. Because mostly autoimmune is very much ascension symptoms, very much as sort of the internalized activations and initiations that we're not able to process through. So the body sort of attacks itself because it hasn't quite had the breakthrough yet to push one forward, is what I've come to understand. But it looks like that's just temporary. It's sort of like feeling like you're taking like 100 steps back before you feel like you're kind of like a rubber band being pulled back, and then you let it go and it's like, boom, like, the acceleration could be like really big. I see a lot of really good things in your chart and a lot of, indications that a lot of regeneration and healing will happen. Pluto transiting is about to hit your Mercury. It's pretty close to it already. It's considered a conjunction. Mercury has to do with communication, the magician archetype. Pluto's going to give you a sort of dark night of the soul, underworld kind of like life review, inner processing experience until you feel like you've let go of what needs to go. And then the emergence of what's happening is really going to light up things that'll make your heart real happy, connected to where you live, the land that you are currently occupying. Saturn is very close to your sun sign, and you might feel a lot of limitations. You might feel this constant feeling of like fatigue, or like you can't quite catch up, or the physical isn't quite catching up. But on a soul level, just make sure you connect with that and identify more with your soul essence than the world around you and the madness of those that might not see eye to eye with you, because you're very much an empath and you take on a lot of other people's shit and you might mistake it for your own. And you need to really, really shield, because a lot is getting into your space that's impacting your health and exhausting you, but it's not really your energy. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, completely. Thank you.
And old voices of authority, things that didn't see you or acknowledge you growing up, that were just like, just all about rules and limitations that just wanted to shut you up and shut you down. A lot of those memories and triggers might be happening, where you just feel like when you want to really express something gets internalized instead. And it's really hard on your system because you're really dynamic. You have a powerful Kundalini, you're super creative, and it's really about getting your voice back, having stronger boundaries, and knowing what is your energy and what isn't. And I'm really working on that. And then your health should really improve. And I'll help you with some of the supplements, but let's just look at the cards. And, but no, there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of good stuff. It's just, but you're being kind of held in the worst of it, of something that needs to change, because the way you're operating, and as far as absorbing too much around you, and even the land, and just your sensitivity to, but you're going to it all around. Just the focused intent in the words that you choose, kind of fake it till you make it. Just keep speaking things that you want to see manifest, and keep integrating it and grounding it. And you'll start to see everything kind of change before your eyes. But shielding is hugely important. And also any old voices of authority that undermine you and make you think that like what you're capable of is not possible, you can just tell it to fuck off.
Thank you.
I call it fuck you therapy.
Right.
Sorry, I hope that's okay.
No, I'm all for that. I'm all for that word.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so just say your full name, including middle name.
Lynn Suzanne Lemke, L-E-M like Mary, K-E.
And see, parasites and pathogens are actually connected to Pluto. And when one's sort of stuck in the birth canal or stuck in the cocoon and you're not really emerging, that's when stagnation occurs, which is when the parasites kind of come in. It's sort of like leaving food out after you make a meal. And it's just like, it's kind of like you got to be out with the old and in with the new so you can make the next meal. So when it comes to us on an energetic level of letting go of people or things connected to our parents or stuff connected to just anything in our life, if we're stagnant and being able to release that stuff and compost it, it's a breeding ground for parasites and pathogens, because it's sort of like, it's sort of like flies, it's just like gnarly little critters like to come when things are kind of stagnant. So just visualize like a major purification of your emotional waters. You're a rising sign Scorpio, right? And you got a strong Pluto Jupiter conjunction, but that's in the sign of Leo. But your moon is in Pisces. And so it's really you want to put your emotional waters, the waters connected to your emotional energy and your psychic energy, you want to kind of put it through the filter and like cleanse it and purify it. So Epsom salt baths with essential oils, and just crying when you feel the need to cry. Maybe watching something that like brings up something that like helps to trigger an emotional response so that you can just like let it like out, because your emotional body really wants to be cleansed, because as an absorber and an empath, there's a lot that you've taken on that isn't yours, and it's sort of clogging up or weighing down the water element in your being. And on top of it, the creative energy of your personal expression and your creative fire is also being internalized, and that would definitely like manifest an autoimmune issue.
Right.
So anyway, it's saying that you're focusing on goals, and a lot of it has to do with releasing things that, like we talked about, doesn't serve you. And it's saying that there's a huge breakthrough where the Tower card is following the Devil card, where anything that you feel an attachment to that you can't let go of, anything that's trying to control you, whether it's in your life situation, something within your own psyche connected to teachers or parents, or something that just might just still be there, like the Saturn energy, like outer authority. It could be something just in the world, or something that you notice in others and how they're under tyrannical control and they don't even realize it. You're going to have a huge breakthrough that is going to make you feel so much more liberated. And that's what the energy of Uranus is all about. That's like the wrecking ball. And that's actually moving through your 6th house, which is the house of Virgo, that has to do with health. So you want to be very gentle with your nervous system. Make sure you get good rest. You take sleep aids so that you sleep real well at night. If you feel really wired up, Uranus has been traveling through your 6th houses for a while. So you might feel a lot of fight or flight and overamped nervous system energy. So the more tranquil your nervous system is, the more the letting go and purging and release will be. Because when, anxiety, it's like, it's all pent up, and it makes everything so tight that you can't open up the release valve to be able to release. Yeah. And then, so working on nervous system is huge, and purification of emotional body and release and letting go. And just, you want to switch on that fire. You want to speak your truth, have boundaries where appropriate. And when you notice something that you're absorbing due to empathy, say, that's not mine. I'm not going to take it on, but I have a prayer and I'm an activator, and I'm going to send a good energy instead of taking it on to heal within your own body, because it's really been too much. And we all know as empaths how that goes, right? And now it's about having the boundary and being more of an activator than an absorber.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh yeah, totally. Okay, I hope that was helpful. And and we'll end this with Ariana.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sending it, Terry.
Thank you.
Ariana, are you there? Hello, Ariana? You're muted. You're muted. There you go. You're still, I can't hear you. It's okay.
I'm not muted.
Okay, well, how about we close the call and just send me a text? I'm going to give you my phone number, and let's talk a little bit later this afternoon. I got to run a few errands, and you and I can have a one-on-one. I'll just give you a call, okay? All right. Yeah, and anybody else like who I've been playing phone tag with,
okay,
you might be like, oh my God, why is it so easy for you to jump on a call? And I've been trying to get a hold of you for, it's just the way the universe works sometimes. But you guys know my number. I have a pretty clear afternoon after like 3 or 4. If I didn't get a chance to talk to you, feel free to send me a text and I'll give you a personal call.
Laura, okay? Could you, is this your number for, do you mind my reciting it?
I'm just going to put it in the chat for everybody. It's 406.
Oh yeah, that's right.
07. Wait, 406-607-0445.
Yeah. And
the minute you text, I will put your name in the contacts. And I can't like take too many because my phone blows up a lot. So these are more for like kind of quick conversations and making sure like bookings. For longer stuff, it's better email. So you can text me and say, hey, I got an email on the way, and that way I can like find it, because I get so spammed, I miss emails. So yeah, I think it's a good time to close. And it's been wonderful to be with everybody on this the eve of a new moon and fall equinox. And we're going to do some meditation. Seth is going to be joining me for the next call. We'll try and do this bi-weekly or at least once a week as things start flowing, and some exciting projects. I think you guys will be I'll share the good news after it's solid, but things are looking up in everybody's world, it looks like, and it's certainly looking up in my world. And I'm like big pat on the back to all of us and huge hugs. Love you guys.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Oh, Alex, good to see you.
Bye, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. I'll send the recording. I'll send it in the next newsletter so you can replay. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.